If you're struggling with passing the ball in college football 25 or you're just looking to get better, don't worry, I'm here to help. In this video, we'll go over the top passing tips to help you start winning more games. If you like college football content like this, make sure you like the video and subscribe for the best college football content on YouTube. Now, let's go ahead and get into the video. We're going to start off this video talking about the different kinds of passes you can make, and then next we'll move into the different kinds of catches in the game, and then we'll start moving into more advanced stuff such as pocket presence, and then at the very end we'll briefly go over beating man coverage and then beating zone coverage. Now, first things first, when you're passing the ball in college football 25, there are 3 different types of passes you can use. The first one we're going to talk about here is called a lob pass. And you do that simply by just tapping the button. As you can see, the blue bar on the passing meter just barely goes up. Okay? All you have to do is just tap that button and the quarterback is going to loft the ball up there, and that's perfect for deep passes over the top when the defender is behind you. The next pass we're going to talk about is called a touch pass. And to perform the touch pass, all you're going to do is just hold on to the receiver icon just a millisecond longer than you would for a lob pass. Right? You're going to want that passing meter to be about halfway in between the start and the very end. And that is a touch pass. The touch pass is good in situations where you're trying to fit it over the defender. If you're trying to toss the ball up over the linebackers or over a safety, but he doesn't have enough room for you to lob it. The next pass we're going to talk about is called a bullet pass. And this is the pass you're going to be using 99% of the time you throw the ball. To do this, all you have to do is hold down on the icon in which you want to pass it to, all the way till it gets to the end of that bar. And that is how you throw a bullet pass. During a bullet pass, your quarterback is going to throw the ball as hard as he can. It's going to be the most straight throw of the 3, and it's going to get to your receiver the quickest. That's why you're going to be using it most of the time. When your receiver is open, the majority of the time, you're going to want the ball to get to him as quick as possible. This is mainly useful for slants and crossers, screens, flat routes. The majority of the throws you're going to want to be using a bullet pass because you don't want to give the defenders very much time to go over there and pick the ball, as opposed to where if you're throwing a lob pass, right, you can see it takes the ball a lot longer to get there and the defense can go over there and make a play. And now that we know how to throw the football, we're going to talk about the different ways you can catch the football. Now, just as there's 3 different ways to throw the football, there are also 3 different ways to catch it. The first way to catch the football that we're going to talk about is called a rack catch. Now, if you don't know, rack stands for run after catch. So, as you can tell by the name, this is the catch you're going to use whenever you want to run after the catch, right? So, to perform this, all you have to do is whenever you're switched onto the receiver, you're just going to click X, hold on to X, and that's how you perform a rack catch. This is good whenever you're wide open and want to get more yards after you catch the football and try to make a play and take the ball upfield. Like I said, to do this, all you have to do is switch onto your receiver and then hold X. Just like this. Now, the next way to catch the ball that we're going to talk about is called a possession catch. Now, you're going to want to do this anytime you want to make sure your receiver maintains possession of the football, right? This can be if you're throwing to the sideline and want to make sure he gets both feet in, or if you're throwing over the middle of the field and you want to catch the ball and fall to the ground before taking a big hit and having a chance for the defense to knock out the ball. To do this catch, all you have to do is switch onto the receiver and hold A. Okay, so for a rack catch, you hit X. For the possession, you're going to hit A. Now, the next way to catch the football is called an aggressive catch. And you're going to want to do this Anytime your wide receiver is one-on-one and you want him to go up strong with both hands and catch the ball at his highest point. Like I said, this is pretty much only used for one-on-one situations, or if you kind of need a bailout, if you threw a bad ball and you need to make sure your receiver goes and makes a play on it and potentially break it up. The next thing we're going to be talking about is pocket presence. The number one mistake I see new players making when passing the football is whenever they hike the ball, they step way too far back, and this allows for more block sheds and the defense to get you quicker. If you're getting sacked a lot, chances are you're probably not having very good pocket presence. Now, right here, as you can tell, they only rushed 3, and Alabama has a great offensive line, so they weren't able to get much pressure. But I'm telling you, whenever you back up too far, not only do your receiver icons go away and it's harder for you to make a throw, as you can see he's wide open, but since those receiver icons went away, Milroe's not able to make a good throw. Right? So backing up all the way, 1, it causes the defense to be able to shed more, and 2, it makes those receiver icons go away and your quarterback isn't able to make a good throw. Instead of dropping straight back whenever you hike the ball, what you're going to want to do is actually step up, right? That way, your offensive line can make that pocket for you, and the defense is going to have to essentially go directly through your offense to get to you. They're not going to be able to run around because you're going to be able to sit inside of that pocket. And not only does stepping up in the pocket allow you to get more time, but it also gives you a hole and you're able to take off with your quarterback if need be. Now, the next thing we're going to go over is how to beat man coverage. Now, there are a few routes that are really good at beating man coverage in this game, right? The majority being routes that kind of cross over the middle of the field, such as slants, in routes, drags, posts, right? Those are all really good at beating man coverage. In this play, there's a lot of man-beating routes already. Pretty much all of these routes on the field will do a good job at beating man. But my absolutely favorite route to beat man coverage in this game is actually going to be from the running back. It's called a Texas route. There's some plays that have this route stock on the play, but you can also audible it and hot route it onto your running back out of any formation with any team. You're able to just press Y. That is how you call a hot route. And then whatever icon is on your running back, as you can see here, it is the right bumper. So we're going to hit RB and then up on the D-pad for that Texas route. And this route absolutely smokes man coverage. As you can see here, he's just going to burn right by him. The linebacker can't keep up. Another route that is especially good at beating man coverage is called a zig. We're going to go ahead and throw that on our Y receiver over here. So press Y to get those hot routes up. Y again for his receiver icon, and then left on the D-pad for the zig. This is what it looks like. It's that little double move, and it's going to absolutely burn that man every single time for a good 3 to 5 yards. This is still one of my favorite routes in the game. It's especially good for beating man coverage, like I said, but it is useful in so many different situations. This is one route that you guys absolutely need to be utilizing. Another route that is especially good at beating this man coverage is a crossing route. And this route you can find in a ton of different plays through a ton of different formations and playbooks. But as for many of these routes, you're also able to hot route it onto your player. You do that by, like I said, clicking Y for the hot routes, then the receiver icon, who you want to put it on. Like I said, we're going to throw it on our B receiver here, and then that is up on the D-pad for that deep cross. Like I said, This route just kind of runs over the middle of the field. It crosses through the field, hence the name. And it too will absolutely burn man coverage. As you can see here, gets absolutely wide open, and you're going to want to bullet pass that to him, get the ball to him as quickly as possible so he can go and make a play. So like I said, it's Y, then B, and then up on the D-pad. For that hot route, we're going to go ahead and block our tight end just so he can stay out of the way. And he's absolutely going to toast that man coverage. Not only are these super good routes to beat man coverage, but they're also extremely versatile, and you can use these in a ton of different situations. And as you learn to pass the ball and get better at the game, you're going to want to be incorporating these routes in your schemes. As you can see here, we have that Texas route with our running back, as well as that deep crosser with Law, and then Y is on that Zig Forrest. And all three of these routes are going to get open on this play. We're going to go ahead and take a look back and show you this. But these routes burn man coverage 99% of the time. Now, if you look closely here, you can see as soon as I snap the ball, number one immediately crosses in front of his guy's face and has him by about 4 yards off the snap. And he is immediately open, and you can read that super early and see that immediately that he's going to be open. But if you're playing online, you're going to see that he's wide open, but so is whoever you're playing. And they're probably either going to be using that deep safety or one of those linebackers to take him and guard him and make sure that you can't throw it to him. That's why having multiple of these routes in a play is very good, because if he's going to use his user to guard that crosser, look at our slot receiver, right? Look at number 6. Look how open he gets on this zig, right? Absolutely torches him. If you throw that on the break, if you throw that right here, he's going to catch that on about the numbers, and he's able to take that upfield. And even if you miss that read and you have a little bit more time, and you can wait, you can do exactly what I did and go ahead and throw that ball over the top for your running back who is wide open as well. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about beating zone coverage. Let's go ahead and select one of these where we're not getting blitz. We're going to pick cover 3 drop here, but these plays are universal concepts that will work against cover 3, cover 2, cover 4. As all of these concepts work to one side of the field. The first concept we're going to go ahead and go over is called a flood concept. This is used when you have preferably 3 wide receivers, or I guess route runners of any sort. You could have a tight end over there or a running back as well. But 3 guys going out for routes on one side of the field. So we have our bunch on the left here, and we're going to go ahead and all we're going to do for this play is just put Y on a streak, right? That's Y for the hot routes, Y for his icon, and then up on the left stick. And then we're going to read number 6 here and number 5 here, right? So we're going to watch that left side. If he doesn't step down, we're going to take our flat route and get our 5+ yards every single time. So all you're going to do here is read that cornerback on the left side. If he's not going to step up and guard that flat route, you're going to throw it to him every single time, and you're going to get at least 5+ yards every time you make that pass. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this so I can show you exactly what I am looking at when I hike the football. So as soon as you hike it and you watch these cornerbacks start to move, you see this guy immediately start running back. That is because he is the deep zone on this play, and that leaves this guy here all by himself to guard these 2. Like I said, you put number 1 on a streak. Over here, you put this wide receiver on a streak. That way he can take this guy up the field with him. He's going to follow this guy because his job is to not allow anyone behind him. So he's immediately going to start running back with this number 1 because he can't let anyone behind him. So that's going to leave this guy to guard the guy on the flat as well as the cornerback here. So as soon as you see them start moving backwards and you see no one at the line of scrimmage with this flat route, you're going to want to throw it to him every single time, and he's going to be able to get up the field and get at least 5 yards every single time. And with 1-2 jukes, you can get out of there and easily score on a play like this. Now we're going to go ahead and put Y on this streak and watch the cornerback. Now we can throw B right here, or we can wait a little bit and throw to our receiver over the top because, like I said, we are flooding that side of the field. And whenever you flood one side of the field, you have 3 routes for 2 guys to guard. Now, if we ignore this guy over here, right, we're looking at this guy, and then this guy over the top, right? That deep safety is going to have to run back with him because his job is to not allow anyone over the top. So now we're just playing the 2-man game against number 1 right here, right? We have 6 running back behind him, and we have 5 running in front of him. And we just have to see who does he want to guard. If he's going to come down and bite on this guy and not follow 6 all the way up there, then we're going to take our big yards, right? And we're going to throw it to 6, and we're going to get that easy completion. But if he wants to drop back with him, then we can throw it to number 5 early and take our easy yards as I was showing you earlier. Another simple generic concept to beat zone coverage is your curl flat concept. And this concept is essentially what it sounds like, right? You're going to have one guy on a curl. We're going to let that be number 5, right? So we're going to press Y, then X for his icon, and then down on the left stick for that curl route. And then we're going to go ahead and put Y here on a zig. Now, a curl flat is kind of a generic concept that just stands for this kind of read over here, where we have a curl and then some sort of flat route, right? Y could be a short out route, just a straight up flat route with left trigger, but preferably we put him on a zig just in case it is man coverage or something else. He'll go ahead and get open there too. But in this concept, we essentially have 2 guys versus 1 defender. So you're going to hike the ball and you're going to watch. If he steps all the way back with that receiver, then we're going to throw it to our flat every single time. And just like it was in the other concepts, we're going to throw it to him and we're going to get our 5+ yards every single time. So as you can see here, as soon as I hike the ball, this cornerback's immediately running with number 5. And then as soon as he sees that he has a zone, a route coming into his zone, he's going to drop down with him, and that's going to leave this guy wide open for an easy first down, maybe even a touchdown every single time. So like I said, as we do in both of these concepts that I've shown you guys, we're just going to read this outside guy, and we're going to throw to wherever he's going to guard. He can't do both, right? He can't guard both players. So whichever one he decides to guard, we're going to go ahead and throw it to the other one. Now, these are some simple, easy concepts that you can apply to every formation, every playbook in the game. If you think the player you are playing against is constantly running a zone, then, try flooding that side. Go ahead and put a receiver on a corner route, put one on a streak, put one on a flat or a zig of some type, and flood that side of the field. And then read the 2 defenders, right? Look, Y is wide open because the 2 people over there cannot guard all 3 guys, right? Or if you are in a different formation or maybe can't have 3 players on one side of the field, then try out that curl flat concept and read the one guy, right? Because then it's still a 2v1 as opposed to a 3v2, right? So go ahead and throw that curl flat and see what he decides to guard. If he wants to drop down on the flat route, then we'll throw to our curl every single time. And if they're running man, then go ahead and put your running back on that Texas route, as well as work in some deep crossers, slants, zigs, and you will find a way to beat this man coverage. As you can see here, all three of these routes are going to get absolutely butt naked against this defense, and I promise you, you'll start winning more games. If you like these tips, if you found any of it useful, go ahead and hit the like button. It lets me know that you like these videos, and I'll keep posting more. If you want some more in-depth videos on how to beat certain coverages, specifically what plays are good, what formations are good, let me know in the comments. I can most definitely do that for you guys. But thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and God bless.